Cowboys Nation, hold on to your hats. We've got breaking news that's about to shake up the NFL. Miles Sanders, the former Eagles and Panthers star running back, might be suiting up in the silver and blue. That's right. Sources confirm the Cowboys are making moves to land this explosive playmaker. But what does this mean for Tony Pollard? And how will it impact Doc and the offense? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this game-changing development. You won't believe what Jerry Jones has up his sleeve this time. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a diehard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. All right, let's get right into it. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this news is hotter than a Texas summer. Multiple sources close to the team have just confirmed that the Dallas Cowboys are in serious talks with former Philadelphia Eagles and Carolina Panthers running back Miles Sanders. That's right. You heard it here first. America's team might be adding another explosive weapon to their already stacked offense. For those of you who might not be familiar with Sanders, let me break it down for you. This guy is a pure game changer. Drafted in the second round by the Eagles back in 2019, Sanders quickly made a name for himself as one of the most dynamic backs in the league. In his 4 seasons with Philly, he racked up over 3,700 rushing yards and 20 touchdowns. And let's not forget his receiving skills. He's hauled in 124 catches for nearly 1,000 yards. Talk about a dual threat. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Tony, didn't Sanders just sign with the Panthers last year? You're absolutely right. Sanders inked a 4-year, $25.4 million deal with Carolina in the 2023 offseason. But here's where things get interesting. Sanders' 2023 season with the Panthers didn't exactly go as planned. He struggled to find his footing in a new system, finishing the year with just 631 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. It was a far cry from his Pro Bowl season in 2022, when he rushed for 1,269 yards and 11 touchdowns with the Eagles. Now, fast forward to the present day. The Panthers, under new management and looking to rebuild, are reportedly open to moving on from Sanders. And that's where our beloved Cowboys come into the picture. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have been on the hunt for a game-changing running back ever since they parted ways with Ezekiel Elliott. While Tony Pollard has been solid, the team clearly believes they need more firepower in the backfield to take that next step towards a Super Bowl. First, for the Cowboys, offensive firepower. Imagine a backfield with both Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders. That's a 1-2 punch that would keep defensive coordinators up at night. Scheme fit. Sanders' skill set aligns perfectly with Mike McCarthy's offensive philosophy. His ability to catch passes out of the backfield would add another dimension to the Cowboys' already potent passing attack. Division knowledge. Having played for the Eagles, Sanders brings invaluable insight into one of the Cowboys' biggest rivals. That's intel you just can't put a price on. Age and upside. At just 26 years old, Sanders is entering the prime of his career. The Cowboys could be getting a player ready to bounce back in a big way. Career rejuvenation. After a down year in Carolina, Sanders could use a fresh start. What better place to do that than with America's team? Winning culture. The Cowboys are perennial contenders. For a player looking to compete for championships, Dallas is an attractive destination. Offensive line. Let's face it, the Cowboys' O-line is one of the best in the business. Sanders would have some serious running lanes to work with. National exposure. Playing for the Cowboys means primetime games and constant media attention. It's a perfect opportunity for Sanders to rebuild his brand. Pollard has been a solid contributor for the Cowboys, no doubt about it. But let's be real, The NFL is a two-back league now. Having Sanders wouldn't diminish Pollard's role, it would enhance it. We're talking about a potential thunder and lightning combination that could rival any in the league. Think about it, Pollard's explosiveness paired with Sanders' vision and receiving ability. That's a nightmare for opposing defenses. It would open up the playbook for McCarthy and give Dak Prescott even more options in the passing game. Speaking of Dak, can you imagine how much easier his life would become with another playmaker in the backfield? The play-action possibilities alone are making me giddy. We all know Jerry Jones isn't afraid to open up the checkbook when he sees an opportunity to improve the team. But this move would require some salary cap gymnastics. The Cowboys are already tight against the cap, and Sanders is currently under contract with the Panthers. So, how could this work? Well, there are a few possibilities. Trade. The Cowboys could work out a trade with the Panthers, potentially involving draft picks or players. Release and sign. If the Panthers decide to cut Sanders, the Cowboys could swoop in and sign him as a free agent. Restructure. Dallas could restructure some existing contracts to free up cap space. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. You're probably thinking, Tony, this sounds too good to be true. And you know what? You might be right. But let me tell you why I believe this has legs. First, my sources within the organization are rock solid. These are people who have their finger on the pulse of the team's decision-making process. Second, the timing makes sense. We're approaching the meat of the offseason when teams start making their big moves. And third, it just feels right, doesn't it? The Cowboys are in win-now mode, and adding a player of Sanders' caliber could be the missing piece to put them over the top. Picture this. It's opening day at a T&T stadium. The crowd is electric. Dak Prescott drops back to pass, but instead of throwing, he turns and hands the ball off to Miles Sanders. Sanders hits the hole, makes one cut, and he's off to the races. Touchdown Cowboys. That scenario could become a reality, folks. And it's not just about the highlight reel plays. Sanders' presence would force defenses to respect the run, opening up passing lanes for CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and the rest of the Cowboys' receiving corps. So what's next? Well, Cowboys Nation, that's where you come in. I want to hear your thoughts on this bombshell news. Would Miles Sanders be a good fit for the Cowboys? How would you feel about the team potentially trading for or signing him? That's the end of today's video. I will see you guys in the next video. If you liked the video, please make sure to subscribe the channel for more upcoming videos.